everyone, it's me, Tanisha O.
And Ike O.
And welcome to Tea with Tanisha O. So today's topic is children need love at all ages and all stages. So what do you think about that, bud?
I agree.
Why?
Because the parents think when their children are younger, they get all the love and attention. But when they are teenagers and adults, they feel like there's no more love to give.
They feel like I've given you enough, so now go figure it out, huh?
Yes.
So let's talk to the people about 3 things that can impact those stages and the love, because you go through different stages in life, right?
You do.
So let's talk through them all. So the first one that we're thinking about is emotions. So when children are first born, typically, this is a dad's point of view. Typically, a father is, when it comes to their daughter, they're loving and they're nurturing and kissing and hugging and you're so beautiful, princess, and I just love you. And the young boy at the same age is kind of treated with the stern. He falls down, he cries, get up, you're fine, nothing wrong with you, be a man, man up. This is the 1-year-old who just fell pretty hard and he doesn't know anything about being a man, but he's told to be a man. Yet a mother, when she has a young boy, she just loves that little boy so much. She's hugging him, and that's mama's boy, and she's giving him every little thing she can. And that little girl, she's loving to her, yet she's preparing her for life. She's teaching her all the things that she needs to do in order to grow up and be a successful woman. So she doesn't have the same amount of grace that she has with that young boy. My grandfather has a saying. He says that women raise their daughters and love their sons. Think about that for a minute. Women raise their daughters. They raise them to be women, successful for the most part, and they love their sons. So depending on what household a person is coming from, one of those variety of things, those emotions can get a little bit confusing. So what does that mean? That could mean for a young girl, she may feel a bit entitled, depending on how things came across in her household. She may feel like, I can have whatever I want because I'm the princess, right?
Yes.
And a young man may feel like, I can never express my emotions because I was taught as a young kid, crying means that I'm weak or that I'm vulnerable and I can't express any level of emotions. Or it could also mean, you know what? I'm a young man. I don't have to do anything for myself because I have other people around me who can clean up for me and do everything for me because I'm the king of the castle and I got somebody to wait on me hand and foot.
That's not good.
That's not good. Or it can also mean I'm an independent woman. I don't need anybody to help me. I'm self-sufficient and I can do it all by myself. So can you imagine those variety, like that vast range of personalities that we're talking about that are taught to us at such a young age and the emotions that come with that? Can you imagine those people running into each other? And probably some of those personalities grow up to get married and dating. They date each other, right?
Yes.
So it's important when our children are younger that we teach them balance. In my opinion, and in our household, we are raising successful young men and a woman. We only have one daughter. And although she is our princess, we are also teaching her to be independent and successful and loving and still confident and determined in all of these other things. And at the same time, we're giving those same qualities to our men. We are raising our young men to be independent and self-sufficient, but we also want them to know that it's okay to express yourself and it's okay to have an emotion, and it's very important to express that emotion because here we want them to grow up and be husbands one day that are capable of loving their wives. Yet we want them to be independent, confident men, men of valor, men of integrity. As a matter of fact, let's talk about the love that's needed. Ike, do me a favor. You know what? I'm going to save this for our next point. So our next point is self-esteem. The words that we speak to our children is so critical, parents. What words are you teaching them? What values are you giving them to hold inside themselves? Because see, all the things that we do as parents and even at school, all the things that are happening around them are molding them. However, we do have an opportunity to instill some beautiful values in them. So in our household, all three of our children have a daily affirmation. This affirmation is said every single morning as we drive to school or whatever is happening, and all three of the kids, even to this day, will still say it. These affirmations take place after our daily prayer, which we talked about previously. So I'm going to ask you, my love, I know you didn't know this was going to happen, if you could share with everyone, what is your daily affirmation?
Okay, so I am a righteous man of God. I am a confident man of God. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and I love you.
I love you too.
I am smart. I am full of wisdom and understanding. I am patient and an excellent listener. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And I am in control of my actions and emotions. And I will be honest. O Lord, that you will bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand will be with me, that you will keep me from evil, so that I might not cause pain. And so God grant me what I requested. And honesty is my first and only response. I will always choose to follow the directions the first time given, and listening to instructions quietly is my daily mission. Amen.
Amen. Great job. D, would you like to share yours? We have a special guest. He's hanging out over there. You can't see his face, but we can hear his voice. You want to come over here real quick and share yours really fast with us?
Yeah.
You just say it right here. Perfect. You can just stand right there. They'll hear you.
I'm the righteous man of God and the virtuous man of God. I walk in love in every word I speak, and I can do all things through Jesus Christ strengthens me, and I love you.
I love you too.
Number one, I'm born purpose. Number two, again, my purpose full term. Number three, feel God's purpose in my life. I'm a whole purpose, strong, powerful, living, mother's happy.
Thank you. And if baby girl was here, we'd be sharing the same thing. So parents, it's super important that we teach our children something that they can hold on to for the absolute rest of their lives. The world is tough. And it's important that they have values and things that they can hold on to raise their self-esteem in the midst of whatever storm or situation they may have. They have something to hold on to. So you just heard my 22-year-old son mention his affirmation, and he has had that affirmation since he was 9. You were about 6 or so. So, and these are things that they'll hold on to for the rest of their lives. So the next thing that I want us to talk about is the crossover. So this is something that my oldest son, he's in that phase. Ike might hear, he hasn't gotten there yet, but it's coming. So what is the crossover? You know, it's that time when you're too old to do this, and so you can't do that because you're too old, yet you don't have the life experiences just yet to teach you what you probably shouldn't do, and you can find yourself in the state of just unknown. Uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, and the fear of failure is really big in this time frame, because all the years leading up to this, you're in high school, and typically you have that covering, you have your family, but once high school ends and college begins, you're really on your own, and those college years really will determine what's going to happen next. I have a phrase that I always say to my children, you know, if you're wondering where someone is, check in with them when they're about 24, 25, if you're kind of wondering where they are, because by that time they may have made a lot of mistakes, a few mistakes, but the balance is coming. Things are starting to slow down, and it's starting to cool down a little bit for the most part. Of course, that is not everyone, but for the most part. So during that crossover time, the affirmation that we just mentioned, and just that extra love and support, parents, it's critical. Because see, when our children are younger, we're taking them for ice cream and for bike rides and hanging out with them. But when they get older, they're like, I don't want to be bothered with my parents. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm hanging out with my friends. But parents, I'm going to challenge you to push a little bit. Dig a little bit. Tell them, come on, hang out with me. Our kids still hang with us. Of course, they have their own lives and they may not be as interested, but we still definitely take our family vacations.
We do.
And we definitely spend our time together, quality time together, because although their friends are there, we're still family, and it's still important that we keep those bonds and those connections better than ever right now in this time in their lives as they're transitioning into adulthood for the older two children. So what are the things that are super important? My older son gave a list of a few things. He mentioned independence, confidence, strength, boldness, and baby boy here said determination. All of these things are going to be needed while you are in the process of transitioning and crossing over into manhood, womanhood, adulthood. But these are all things that are also going to be needed, parents, as you continue to just go through life. So really, those are all qualities that anyone can need at any time in their life. I know I need those things, right?
Yes.
So we just went through 3 key things to just talk about children needing love in all ages and in all stages of their life. Their emotional stability throughout their entire life is critical, allowing them to be free to be who they are. Their self-esteem. Parents, we are accountable and responsible for trying our very best to give our children something special that they can hold on to, that they can remember for all of their lives. Of course, everything won't be perfect, won't always be a walk in the park, but we can do our very best with what we have. Those affirmations that I had, that I created for all of my children, but for the younger 2 children, I was in my 20s when I did that. So this is not something that comes only when you're in your 30s or as you grow up. This is something that I'm almost positive. Yeah, I was in my 20s. So this has been going on for quite some time. And the crossover. Parents, our children need us more than ever as they enter into adulthood. That is not the time for us to forget them. One thing that I always mention to young mothers or women who may be pregnant and they may ask for words of wisdom and for words of advice. And the one thing that I always say, and I'll share it with you, is that it's super important that we love our children the same way we love them when they're small infants and they're so sweet and they're so innocent and we just have fallen in love and melted away when we first lay our eyes on them when they're infants. We need to remember that same love, that same bond, and that same caring when our children get older and they go through their rough patches in life. That love is critical. They need us and they're counting on us. So you know what? Let's continue to blend our love. Let's stand by our children at all ages and all stages as we continue to grow. And we will talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us. Please share this video with others. Like it, subscribe. I'm on YouTube and all that good stuff. So we'll talk to you soon. Baby boy, anything you want to share with us?
Yes, this is my favorite quote from
Yep.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase.
We don't have to see the whole staircase, guys, but we do need to just take that very first step. Enjoy a wonderful day. Ciao.
Ciao.